know why it wasn't on.
You're working, I take it?
Yep.
Okay. So it's Jacob Wieringa. I'm Judge Sara Smolenski, and we have your attorney, Teresa Paletta, here on file D20-02479FY. Originally, you were charged with a 5-year felony called carrying a concealed weapon and charged with a misdemeanor of carrying a concealed weapon while under the influence. One is a 5-year felony, one is a misdemeanor. Today's the date set for the actual preliminary exam on this case. And I'm just getting a feel for where we're at on this, Ms. Paletta. You've talked to Mr. Tarango at some point?
I received a couple of emails and a PCC pre-exam form with an offer, Your Honor, for Mr. Tarango.
Yeah.
I've also spoken with Mr. Wieringa.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Wieringa would like to waive his preliminary examination and continue negotiations in circuit court.
So, Mr. Wieringa, if you're waiving the preliminary exam today, there's no testimony taken in front of me. The case moves on to the Kent County Circuit Court. We still enter a plea of not guilty on both charges that are being made against you. You and your attorney, Ms. Paletta, would continue discussing the case and negotiating it with the prosecutor until any final decision is made by you. Waiving the prelim today means no testimony, and I don't make any determination on the case. It automatically moves to circuit. Waiving the circuit court arraignment just means that you don't have to formally go in front of the judge that's going to be assigned to you in your case. It allows me to say not guilty for you on your behalf. So far, Mr. Wieringa, do you feel like you understand what's happening?
Yes.
If you give Ms. Paletta authority to sign the 2 documents we're talking about right now, one is called the waiver of the preliminary exam, one is called the waiver of the circuit court arraignment. What I just went over with you. She's physically here in the courthouse, so we're going to have her handle that for you. Do you have any objection to that?
No.
And you give her permission to sign those 2 documents I'm talking about?
Yes.
All the conditions of your bond stay the same. You showed up on Zoom today just like we asked you to, and I appreciate that. I want to make sure that you always know you can contact your attorney, Ms. Paletta, if you have any questions or concerns. She will notify you when you get the date of the new appointment downtown, which still could be done by Zoom. Understood?
Yes.
Any questions that stick out for me?
No.
Ms. Paletta, can you think of any other questions or concerns?
Oh, Your Honor.
Okay, Amanda, I took this out already, so you can give that right to Ms. Paletta. And then just stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Wieringa. You know, if questions come up or a concern, she knows how to get a hold of you, you know how to get a hold of her. Fair?
Fair.
Okay, then, you're free to disconnect. Thank you for your courtesy on Zooming in today.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Mr. Ziegler, I'm waiting to connect with the attorney that's been assigned to you in this case that I think is Leticia Perez.
Yep.
Have you had a chance to talk with her?
Not yet.
Okay.
Still going right now.
I wanted to find out if Ms. Perez is part of this Zoom. Anybody connected on for Ms. Leticia Perez? All right. My clerk's indicating she's trying to Zoom in right now, so we're waiting for her to connect. The case wasn't, it was set at 10, so we're just waiting. Now, Mr. Boivin, what case are you on?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am here for Robert Verdier.
Okay. And
Your Honor.
you know who the defense attorney is on that?
Show Stephen Schultz.
Actually, Your
Okay.
Honor, my apologies to interrupt, but I just got an email from Megan Mass, who was talking about the Verdier matter. So I think she's the new attorney on it. She just sent me an email. I've asked her to zoom in. She was zooming into my Zoom room. I've asked her to zoom into the court.
All right, and that last name is M-A-S-T, Mast?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll just wait on that then. Okay, that's fine. Are you seeing Ms. Perez connect at all?
She's in the Zoom room, Judge.
Okay, you can bring her in this one. Ms. Perez, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
There
sure.
you are. Okay, Amanda, can you get the paperwork for Teresa
I will.
Paletta?
She can just set it right there
Yep.
in the outbox.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
okay, perfect, thank you. Yeah, and the arraignment of the circuit court arraignment too? Okay. All right, Ms. Perez, thanks so much for being connected with us here. David Ziegler is here from the Kent County Jail. He's indicated that he has not yet a chance to meet you and talk with you on these cases. The charges that we've got that are set for today's PC, probable cause hearing, is the possession of methamphetamine, which is the 10-year felony from October 4, 2020, and then a possession of methamphetamine from February, 8 months earlier. They call that one a possession with the intent to deliver, so it bumps it up to a 20-year. I'd like to put you in a conference room, Ms. Perez, so you and Mr. Ziegler could speak for a few moments on your own.
Yes, thank
Mr.
you.
Ziegler, that conference would be confidential because we can't hear it once we put you in the chat room. Then I'll bring you back here and we'll talk further. There's two felonies, Ms. Perez, 20-year and a 10-year.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's put them in a conference room if you please.
Attorney Mathis.
Okay, Megan Mast, an attorney on the case with Robert Verdier.
Yes.
Thanks so much for zooming in today.
Yeah.
Did you expect that your client would be zooming in as well, or is he with you?
He's in custody, so I do not
Oh,
really
he's in
expect him to be
custody.
coming in.
Okay, all right, thanks. I wasn't clear on that.
Yeah. I
We have the
apologize.
prosecutor here, who is Mr. Lawrence Bovet. And I don't know whether you guys have had a chance to talk much. He thought Schultz was on the file. Is
Yeah.
Schultz somebody from your office?
Yes, Mr. Schultz is the lead attorney on the case. He had a
Oh, I
family matter,
see.
so he's
Sure.
unable to be here today.
Sure. And is Mr. Verdier in custody simply on these charges or something separate?
Just these charges, Your Honor.
Okay. I know it was a fatality as it relates to this case, and I don't know, I think what I'll do first, if it's all right with you, Mr. Boivet, is have you guys talk for a minute in a separate chat room with the attorney Mast, and then we can get a little bit more feel once I have one other case before you that's in custody, and then when they bring Mr. Verdier over, I'll let you speak to him as well, Ms. Mast.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so if you could put Mr. Boivet and Ms. Mast in a chat room.
You want to go up, Martha?
Yeah.